Okay, so go back to this one on the lab. Let me do the demo again. Right, so on the first challenge, you want to create the tray with the imagery inside, and then when you drag up and down the tray, is it running? Wait a second. So when you drag up and down the tray, so if it reaches to a certain limit, it should not go further, right? It just stay there. So how did you do that one? Here we have like if you detect when you drag up. So in this case, you can either use velocity or translation. Right? So you check for the either one. In this case, use velocity. So I check for the velocity. If that one is like less than zero, mean I'm dragging up, right? So we detect that we are dragging up, and then if when I'm dragging up and the new position is it not reach to the position. So here I set the tray center when open. So here I set like two constant here. The tray center when open and tray center when closed. So when open, I set edit value the height is 481, and then uh, the I set this one because like when I create the tray like this one. I know this is the position when it's open, right? It should be like this, and I bring it out. I say, oh, this is like 481. Okay, so I will use 481 for that, and I just set the constant there. I say if it still higher than 481, meaning it's still below that 481, I keep update the position, right? And then if L in this block, so if it already reach to that level, so I should not update the position anymore. I just want to set there. So if I still want to drag up, it should not go up anymore. Right? It just should be there. And you see some damping effect there, right? When I drag it up and drop, uh, yeah, see some bouncing effect. That's I guess that's one is one of the bonus 3 or 4 something, right? And then with that one, the second one is to on the milestone number 4. You want to create a new phase when you tap on this one, right? And then what happened here? So I tap on a face, and then it will create a new face right on top of this, right? It just create a new image right on top of the image we are tapping on, and then I zoom it to it, and then I add the recognizer to that one. Right? So I add the recognizer there. So now I had the band recognizer. I can move it around, right? And then if I drop this image outside the tray, so it will update the position. And if I drag the image but it's still inside the tray, so I let go, then it will not update. It will just delete that one, just clear, just remove that image, right? So what happened there in this one on face band catcher, right? Starting from here, so as soon as we tap on the image, we have here we create a new face, right? So this is the code to create a new face. So we just copy exactly the image that we are tapping on, and then we add this tray to the view. So the view, this one is our main screen. We add this new image on the main screen, and then we update the center location for that. So if you notice there, so at the beginning, so we have this image is inside the tray, right? And then when you add the image inside this view, so the bigger view here, you need to update the Y of this one. So here, for example, this one 0 0 of the tray, right? And the corner is 0 0 of the tray. So here around like 50 50, the position of this image like 50 50 inside the tray, right? But when you add the image inside this big view, right, you need to update the Y location. That's why you see the code here. So we need to update. So it's like if we had the update the offset between when you drag it from the view to the put it into the bigger view, from the tray to the bigger view. That's why you had this code here. So we need to add the plus the tray view and origin one. Okay, and then here's a subsequent on the bonus 1 2 3 4. So we manually create the new gesture for the image you just created. So here we have what we had band gesture. Yeah, this is not the bonus one, but the next bonus one is the bin gesture, right? Because after you put the image here, you want to do the pinch, and I move here, and and I can zoom the image. So this is a pinch and the rotate, right? So we had the pinch gesture here, we had the rotation gesture here, we had the double tap gesture here. Right? That's one is bonus 1, 2, or 3, I guess. Right? And how to make it work, everything work together, you need to add one more thing. So later I will push this code. So you scrolling all the way to the end of the code, you see this one. So we had the gesture recognizer delegate. Okay, in this case, what does it say? Should recognize simultaneously with other gesture recognizer. So if you didn't set this one, it should recognize one recognizer at a time, one gesture at a time. So meaning you cannot at the same time you do like pinch and rotate. At the same time, if you trigger the pinch first, so it just can pinch. But in this case, you see I can pinch and then rotate at the same time. See? That you need to set this one. You need to set to true for the like should recognize simultaneously with the other recognizer. Okay, and then you go back to this. So one thing you need to notice here. So one gesture recognizer can only be assigned to one item. Right? One item can have multiple gesture, but one gesture can only be assigned to one item. Right? So here you need like I set this gesture recognizer for the happy face, and then I create another gesture recognizer for the excited face, something like that, and I need to create like 6 gesture recognizer for those 6 faces. Right? And then to reuse the code, right? We don't want to like write the code for every gesture recognizer, so I drag all the gesture recognizer here into one code block. So everything I drag into this code block on face band gesture, so I can reuse the code. So it's exactly the same, right? Nothing changed. Every time either you tap on the happy face or you tap on the excited face, it just execute one block of code here, right? And then this is how you implement the function for like a new face band gesture, new face pinch gesture, and then with those you put the selector here. Right? When we this is the second way to add the gesture, right? You remember that one? You programmatically add the gesture into the item. Right, so we have something like this. Remember the syntax. So we had the whatever the gesture, and then you create a new gesture, and you need to set the selector. So the target always be self, and then for the selector, so whatever the function you want to trigger when that gesture is recognized, and then that item you say, hey, I want to add this gesture recognizer into that item. And you see here the double tap gesture. We don't have the double tap gesture. We only had the tap gesture. See, UI tap gesture recognizer. But on the UI tap gesture, so you can set how many finger you want to detect. For example, I say I want to detect if 2 fingers tap at the same time, or how many tap you want to detect, like 1 finger, but like I want to do the double tap or triple tap, then I can set the value here. Double tap and number of tap required. So in this case, it requires 2 taps, right? And if for example, if I do it on the storyboard, so let me say tap gesture, like I just drag the tap gesture, I throw it there. Okay, so you see the tap gesture there. You can set it here if you want to do that one from the storyboard. So it can recognize like how many tabs you want, so it can detect like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, it's infinite. And then for the touch is like how many finger. I thought it was only maximum to 5 finger, but actually it can go up to. It's up to you. If you have so many finger, you can do that one. Okay, so I just remove this one. Okay. Right, so everyone clear about the lab, right? Again, so the animation it takes a lot of time to finish the thing, and because that one is one. So when you complete the animation, it like bring to your app a very good experience for the user, better UX for the user, and because it took a lot of time. So when you do your final project, don't spend too much time on that one. You need to ensure you made it like the required user story. You made it work first, and then like for the last week you can spend time to start working on the optional story or the to polish your app to create a better UI, create a better animation or transition, whatever, right? Okay, so that's it for the lab. I'm going back to the cool one for this one. So now I guess nobody working on your week 4 assignment, right? So that's one on the Twitter. So we also use some like animation and gesture to apply for that Twitter app to make it more fancy, look more like drill Twitter app. Okay, so now starting from this week, we are going to work on your final project. Something you need to work on this one. So we had a list of to-do thing here for the group project. So I already set up the private channel here. So we have group 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the DAG this one for the Hanoi guy. So group 1, 2, 3, 4. You pick a name, your team name. I will change the team name later. But already this one is the private group, right? So only by invitation. So I already invite you to the group. So you join the group. I, Holly, and 2TA already there. So anything about the group project, so you can ask there. So we can have you there. Okay. Next step, if you go to this week 4 and then we see on the group, so if you have the thing you need to do for your group project on the milestone number 1. So first thing you need to create an organization on GitHub, right? So same thing GitHub, you create an organization. That's one you can have multiple people collaborate on the same project. So that's when this one you create an organization. Create a new organization on GitHub, then create an empty project there. So and then the next thing is to do a little research. Like for example, you have some idea, you want to work on that project, and then you need to have some research, and actually you need to create a survey. You just create a survey and then send out to your friend, whoever your friend, and get your friend to complete that survey for you. And then actually what we want is to see if what you think is what is really what people need, right? For example, you want to create some app for doing something, but then if you do the survey and then people, hey, I don't like, I don't have the need to do this one. You send the survey for 100 people and 100 people say no, then why should you go for that app, right? So we do a little survey like that one. I can share you. So for example, this one is like the survey from my group last time. So it's just we were able to get like 8 response. So we sent to a few people, but just 8 responses. And something we can take a look on here. So the app we built last time is the app to like this look like Nam Dây or the Chợ Tốt one, right? So just buy and sell stuff, and then there's some we have some question here to try to get the idea from the user. How do they want, if they have some redundant stuff, how do they want to sell that, or if they're looking for something, how do they want to, if they want to buy the new one or they go for the second-hand stuff, something like that. And we had the survey there, and then based on this survey, we may or may not treat our user story a little bit, like okay, so this is like our project before. So we have this is our organization, and then we create the project there. We had the readme. So for now we need to create the readme and then update the user story there. And then based on the result of the interview, we can treat this user story. So we have a bunch of required user story there. We had the optional user story as well, but at that moment we didn't complete any optional. And sometimes we move something from the required to the optional because of the time. We didn't manage the time very well, and then it ended up like we couldn't complete this and this and this, and then we start to move things from here and there. So that's also the tip for you. You should estimate how much time your team have, and then is it doable. Don't try to create some very fancy app, very complicated app, and then instead of like your team cannot complete that one, and the worst thing is that the app is not working during like the demo day. Right? You should create some minimum required user story that your app must able to do the function. Right? Okay. So what else? Yeah. So we need to do the survey, and then we had the user story, and the next thing is to do the wireframe. So what is the wireframe? Anyone familiar with this word? Yeah. So wireframe is just basically how do you want your app to look like? You don't start to code at this moment. It's coding is like a very expensive process. It will take a lot of time to start coding, and then later you want to change this and that and this and that, and then it will take a lot of time. So don't right away jump into like open Xcode and create a new project and do anything before you want to do that one. So you want to create some. So like this one, there are a bunch of the wireframe tool, the online tool. So you can look at the link here. It provides some free online tool for you to create a wireframe. So again, the wireframe is like just the basic what you want to put on your app, just some basic screen. So for example, this is my last time we used the InVision app for creating the wireframe. So for example here, the good thing of this one, it has some interaction as well. So we can simulate our app flow. So for example, we want, let me go to, yeah, so like we have some, like this is the sign up screen. So we should have something like this. So just some label, some image, we should put it there. So we try to estimate and try to imagine how our app will look like. Right? To put it there, whatever, if you want to use the tool or you want to use the paper and pen, so it's okay. With the paper and pencil, so just draw on the paper. That's so good. And how you want to connect, how you want to navigate from one view controller to another view controller. Right? For example, from this after we sign up, and then where should we go? Like in this case, after I sign up, I go into this page. So this page will be the our main page, for example, and then I click on the new one, so I can. This is my create new view screen. View controller, and I have something like that. I can add the image, I have the price, title, the description, like this. Right, so prepare your wireframe as well. And what else? The last one, yeah, that's it. So the wireframe is the last one. Okay. And then the due date for this one is before next week lab. So we have 1 week from now to work on the thing. And if you already finished that one, so now we working on a team. We work in a team of 3. So for the subsequent milestone, so within your team, you just need to pick one and then submit for your team. You don't need to like everyone go and submit together. Here you also had the submit button there. Just one of your team, and you go ahead and you submit. When you submit, you say you from team 1 to no, later you select your team name, and then you say, hey, I submit for this team, and then just put it there. Right? You don't need like 12 people here. We submit for 12 things. Okay. So remember, go back and then join the Slack channel and create your organization. Create the survey. You can send out the survey. You can, after you create the survey, you can send out. I will send you some of the example from previous class. How did they build a survey? It's just a simple like Google survey, the Google one. So, or you can use the monkey survey, whatever you want. Right? You can send out the survey. We can have to fill out the survey for you as well. And after you got the survey, then you start to build your user story and wireframe. Okay, so the due date for this here is still say like March 14 is Tuesday, but it's Thursday next week. So March 16, I will fix that one later. Okay, any question? Or they run away already? Okay, so if no question.